106.5 FM and online. It's the After 5 Guest with Wynne Thomas.
And time now for my After 5 Guest. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Chris Amoo of The Real Thing. Chris, thanks for your company this afternoon.
No problem. Looking forward to it.
Great stuff, thank you. The new album is A Brand New Day, and a new single, Hang On, Never Let Go, is to be released on March the 11th. That's right, isn't it?
No. When it's released tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow, right, okay. So my information's wrong. Okay, that's even better. Released tomorrow, brilliant, yeah, okay.
It's written on the gums, but no, it's actually released tomorrow on the 28th.
Right, that's what I got it wrong, Chris. Right, okay. So when was it all put together then? When was the album sort of made, and when was the writing all done?
It was basically during lockdown. And, you know, my brother Eddie passed away 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'd gotten out of the groove of being creative as far as new songs were concerned, because I just didn't have the heart to do it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
And then during lockdown, when you sort of left with your own thoughts and things, that sort of creative instinct just started to creep back in. And we decided that I'd like to use the time to do something creative that's going to, number one, benefit the group, but also be a tribute to Eddie, which I know is what he would have wanted, you know. So basically, in that respect, the lockdown was an absolute blessing for us.
So did you sort of write the words and the music for the new album, or what happened there?
Yes. Most of the songs on the album are new songs that were written during lockdown. There are 4 tracks on the album that Eddie and I had always intended to revisit. And them 4 tracks were Children of the Ghetto, which has become a standard for The Real Thing, which is an A-side as well. We've got 2 A-sides coming out simultaneously, which is Hang On, Never Let Go and Children of the Ghetto. And for that, we've decided to do that a live version, because just to do something different and to get the emotion of the song across better. Daddy Dear, which was written by Eddie many years ago. It was one of The Real Thing's original first singles, and it was one that I always intended to revisit, and added a couple of sections to it, so that was another one. Frontline, which was a song that we wrote round about the same time as Children of the Ghetto. And what was the other one? There was Hang On, Never Let Go, which we recorded in America a long time ago, but it never ever turned out right. So I decided to redo and revisit that one. So apart from them 4 songs, all the other songs are brand new.
So The Real Thing now, Chris, under different kind of names, has been in existence since really way back, isn't it? I mean, you did some stuff in the Cavern, didn't you? Is that right? Were you in that group then, in those days?
No, that's a misconception, actually.
Right.
Basically, my brother Eddie was a lot older than me, and he was in a group called The Chants originally. And they came up during the Merseybeat era, and they were the ones who had the connection with the Beatles. Not The Real Thing. The Real Thing started off as Sophisticated Soul Brothers. Then we became Vocal Perfection. And when we were on Opportunity Knocks, we changed it to Real Thing. And that's what we've been ever since.
Yeah, you were the SSB or something, were you? Something like that?
Sophisticated Soul Brothers.
Brilliant, okay, yeah. So then, You To Me and Everything. That was the big break, wasn't it? So where did that song come from?
Yeah, it was. You To Me was our dream record. And really the start of what people now see as The Real Thing. Funny enough, we were looking around for a, shall we say, an established pop writer, record writer at the time. Because we found that mine and Eddie's songs weren't really hitting it commercially. So we wanted someone who could come up with a really nice commercial song for the group. And we'd recorded a song called Stone Cold Love Affair. about a year previous with a guy called Jerry Shorey, and he told Ken Gold to bring his songs into Tony Hall to have a listen to, because he's got this group called The Real Thing. Ken Gold brought them in, and I just happened to be in there that day. He played a variety of songs, but the standout one was You To Me or Everything, and we had it signed, sealed, delivered before he went out the office, and the rest is history, isn't it?
That's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, we played that at the start of the show. It still sounds really good. You know, it's really got a fantastic sound to it. So it's still a fantastic record all these years later, Chris, isn't it?
It is. It stands up. It really does. It's well, that's why it's become a classic. It's stood the test of time.
That's right. Yeah, when the test of time is there, they are going to be good songs. Yeah, yep. Now I can remember a TV program many years ago when I was much younger than I am now, and I watched David Essex sing America, and there standing by him was these guys backing him. That was the real thing, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yep. David was instrumental in Real Thing's success, because we'd already appeared on Top of the Pops with David a few times, and we sang on a few of his albums, and we featured on two of his hits, Rolling Stone and Nightclubbing, and we'd been on tour with David Essex as well, so in America. So all David's fans took to Real Thing. So, of course, when we sort of came out with a song like You To Me or Everything, we had a ready-made audience there that had already taken to us as a group anyway. So he was very instrumental in us actually having that hit record, actually, David Essex.
Yeah, I mean, it's been listed in the Guinness Book of Records in the top 100 of the millennium. That's good stuff, isn't it? That's brilliant.
Yeah, we've got two in that. We've got You To Me or Everything and Can't Get By Without You, which is fantastic. Yeah.
And, I mean, with David, you were exposed to a much bigger audience then, because also you went on tour in America with him, didn't you? So it was a much bigger experience for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And, you know, we learned a lot from David as well. We learned how to put on a proper show. Because, okay, we were used to going around the clubs and things at the time, just doing like a real heavy sort of dance-orientated show. He showed us, with working with him in these huge arenas and theatres, how to really put on a proper show. And, it was very instrumental in we learned a lot from him on that score.
So the two big hits were, like you said, You To Me and Everything, Can't Get By Without You. And there wasn't Children of the Ghetto, the next kind of a single, which was a completely different direction. Was that a gamble to take that different direction?
Sorry, you'll have to repeat that.
I say you had big hits with You To Me and Everything and Can't Get By Without You. And then I think it was Ghetto Child that kind of roughly followed that. Was that a big gamble to take a different direction?
It was a big gamble. But, you know, sometimes you have to be brave. You know, if you don't want to become just one of those bands,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
On songwriters,
yeah.
You've got to sort of be brave and do things that sort of like don't typecast you, shall we say. So we decided, we'd already written things like Children of the Ghetto and things, and so we decided to go with a ballad after Can't Get By. Just to break the mold, you know.
Yeah,
and It was a hit. It wasn't as big as You To Me or Everything, but it was a hit.
So during those times in Liverpool, it was a real tough time for Liverpool, wasn't it? Was it directed towards those children, or was it something bigger than that?
Growing up in Liverpool was very difficult.
Yeah.
But it was lovely. It was fantastic because, you know, Liverpool had that sense of community.
Mm.
And you don't normally get that, you know. It's very seldom that you see that now. You know, that sense of community.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I think that that sense of community has helped to keep us grounded.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic, you know. And it taught us to be strong as well. And growing up, we were very isolated growing up in Toxteth, which is the ghetto, which was the inspiration behind Children of the Ghetto, by the way. In that, we couldn't really venture out of Toxteth into the wider part of Liverpool, because you weren't really welcome. Being black, you weren't really welcome in them sort of like city centre clubs and things like that, you know. So we had to make our own fun inside Toxteth. And all these sorts of Americans, the black Americans, used to come in to Toxteth from the bases, and they used to bring their American records in, the soul records. There was a lot of like clubs and things, local clubs inside of Toxteth, and that was our world. So we were pretty cocooned from everything, you know.
Yeah, I'm exactly know what you mean. Yep.
We were very cocooned by everything. We had our own world, and it was only when we started the group and we started to venture outside of that circle into the wider area, playing in the youth clubs and in the city clubs and things like that with the group, that we realised that there's a world out there that we haven't seen, you know. And obviously, as time goes on, barriers start to come down and everybody starts to venture further into the city centre, you know. But like I say, growing up, it was a very cocooned existence.
Well, the real thing has lasted all this time. It's been brilliant. You're still together in the 70s, still doing stuff this very day. I mean, things have changed now. It's no longer your single on vinyl. It's now on downloads, all that sort of stuff, isn't it? Lots of things have changed since you started out, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank God, because although there's always room on my collection for vinyl and CDs.
That's right, me as well, yeah.
This from Real Thing.
Now then,
Being technology.
So you've come from Opportunity Knocks, you won that as well. That was absolutely brilliant as well. And now, even to this present day, you're going to go down a big tour, aren't you?
Yeah, we're on tour. We're touring the whole country. We start in February, where we'll be working down south in Essex, and then we're doing the Jazz Cafe in London. And then from March onwards, like, we're really sort of getting around the country. And basically, for people who want to know where we're working and want to come and see us, they can check us out on our Facebook page and also at therealthingofficial.com and on Twitter too, and they'll be able to find out all our gigs and where we are.
Brilliant. Well,
and the single and the album are released tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
On Amazon, iTunes and Spotify.
Well, as you said, my bump is wrong, but it is tomorrow, and I'll make sure we know this tomorrow as well when we broadcast that for you. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks so much for being my After Five guest today, Chris. Good luck with the tour, and thank you much for spending me the time this afternoon to talk to me.
Thank you very much. Really enjoyed it. And get out there and buy Hang On, Never Let Go.
Yep, and nicely queued up. I'm just going to play that for you now. Here we go.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Cheers.
and I know